This is my mic.
This is my mic.
Meet me here. That's not meeting me. Meet me here. Wow, it actually worked. Would you look at that? Wait, we're not checking mics this episode? Because Audacity decided to not work, meaning that I would have to do extra work in order to get the mic check to actually work correctly.
The audacity.
The audacity of that program. That .exe.
What's it called again?
Audacity.
Huh.
That's funny.
I get it.
Anyways,
Hello, everyone.
hello everyone. Welcome back to Stuff
Thing.
and Stuff, where we talk about stuff
Thing.
and stuff. I've missed saying that. I almost forget that we say that.
Yeah, normally I'm the one who says stuff and you say things.
Are you sure about that?
I think we switch each time.
we change it up a bit. I can already hear that computer like imploding.
Oh, that's the laptop?
Yeah, that's the laptop. There's a little shh
In the background.
coming from the laptop. So if you're picking that up, I'm sorry, but
I'm not.
no, we got a different set. Have we ever used these microphones for a podcast?
No, we used it for everything but.
These are the podcast mics we use for A to Z.
We A to Z, and then we used it in, I don't know I think this is going to come out first, right? For Zelda.
Yeah.
We just recorded Tears of the Kingdom today, and we're going to record some more later.
We use it for our gaming videos, and my dad uses it for his friend's company. Check out Speak with People on.
I love that podcast.
It's a good podcast.
I haven't watched an actual episode because I don't watch podcasts, but the clips I enjoy thoroughly.
Yeah, mostly because my dad's in it. He's a cool guy.
Talked me up once.
It's true. They talk.
Nice.
It's true.
I don't know if they talk me up, but being recognized for saying I love you all the time is nice.
It's adorable. I would check out Speak with People. Give me a shout out.
Yeah, come on, Dad.
Come on, Dad. No, they talk about actually good things as opposed to us.
Talking about what we're going to talk about today, which is...
What is it?
Comfort.
Comfort stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, you brought up this idea, so what was your...
Nathan, I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
what is the character that brings you the most comfort? Not like, oh, I liked this character in this movie because he looked cuddly, but like, what is a character you often go to because you feel comfortable and, I guess, safe with that character?
Yeah, I get that. See, it's a tough question because, like...
There's so many.
There's a lot. I attach myself to a lot of media as opposed to, like, a certain thing.
Right.
I don't watch a lot of things more than once.
I don't... Oh, I do.
I think
My favorite movie I watch more times than I should.
My favorite movie I don't often watch.
What's your favorite movie?
WALL-E, I'd say so.
That's a good movie.
I'd say WALL-E. And, speaking of WALL-E, I think I'd say that WALL-E is a comfort character for me. I really love WALL-E. I think his character is adorable, but also super complex and like.
He's interesting.
He's definitely interesting, but he's really cute.
I wasn't expecting you to say WALL-E.
Yeah, I love.
That's
WALL-E.
really cool.
Were you expecting me to say Luigi?
No,
because that's another one, but
I was
lesser.
Well, because Luigi doesn't.
He doesn't do much.
I was gonna say, ironically, for what I'm gonna say, Luigi doesn't have much of a character.
Yeah, but Luigi. I don't know. Luigi has a lot of a character in some instances.
But he shows a lot of, I guess, personality.
Yeah.
Shows a lot of character. He doesn't have a lot of personality. I think that's the
maybe.
better.
Yeah, I could see that. Because they don't like talk too much, so it's like.
Yeah.
But
and I don't count those cartoons.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but it's separate. They're totally different continuities.
Movies? Charlie Day's my comfort.
I haven't seen Charlie Day's your comfort character, the person himself.
Yeah, love Charlie Day. He's pretty funny. But Wally's cool. I see the thing about Wally is that Wally also brings out a certain type of humanity, like in the movie and just in general.
I think that is the coolest part of that movie.
Exactly.
Is how human the robots are.
Yeah, compared to the humans
who just gave up on humanity.
Exactly. I think there's such beauty and interest there, and I really love Wally for that. I think I go back to a lot of Pixar characters, but in that vein, like I always loved Woody. As a kid,
too.
Woody was my favorite. In fact, I wanted to name my little brother Woody, which in hindsight is really, really funny.
As you get older, that becomes hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's really funny.
Dude, they're just not PG. Their names are Woody and Buzz.
Yep.
That's all. Moving on. Go on.
I was 3. You got to remember, I was 3.
I mean, there's a hooker in Toy Story.
It's true.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
Which one?
The fishing pole with the Barbie legs.
Ah, that's right. That's funny. By the way, what do you think is the what do you think is the best Toy Story movie, and what do you think is your favorite?
I think the best Toy Story movie is 2.
Okay, 2's a
It's
good
either
one.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
My favorite is 3
I
because
agree.
nothing brings me to tears more than 3.
No, yeah, 3 I think is my favorite. I remember because I think it came out like sooner whenever we were kids. Like that was
Yeah.
our childhood Toy Story
That was
movie.
our Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why that one's my favorite, but I was talking to my girlfriend's mom and she was like Toy Story 2 is the best because it has that one song about Jessie.
That song's sad.
And as a mom, it's very like
yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's." And I was listening to that song the other day just because like
You haven't listened to it in a while?
I mean, it just like got stuck in my head at some point, and I was like, "Oh, that's such a beautiful song."
It is a really pretty
It's
song. I
really
can't remember
good.
a single word from it, but I remember every time that scene
It's
comes
like,
up,
"She loved
I
me,"
get
or
sad.
something.
Yeah.
It's really.
I get sad, but I don't cry.
See, the thing about Toy Story 2 is that I don't remember it too much. Like, I don't remember the
I think that one's the
pure-
most fun. I think Toy Story 3 is the Mission Impossible of the 4.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's about breaking in and
Yeah.
getting out all the guys. I think that one is the scariest.
I
That
agree.
monkey scene in Toy Story 3.
That made me jump in theaters.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ugh."
That's
And I was
spooky.
5 or whatever I was. When did it come out?
2010.
So I was 5, yeah.
Then I was 6.
Probably.
No, I would have been 7.
Did it come out during like Thanksgiving or something like that?
Yeah, I know.
But I love Woody, Wall-E. Now I gotta think of a non-Pixar one. Don't count Luigi.
Why is Luigi one of your comfort characters? I actually never understood this because we never talked about it.
He is green, and green's my favorite color.
Fair.
My brother preferred Mario, and so I couldn't prefer the one. Like I couldn't
You
like
could
the one.
prefer the one he wanted.
Exactly. Also, Luigi was taller, and I was taller than my brother. But also, I don't know. There's something about Luigi that is so much more endearing and lovable than Mario. I never liked Mario's attitude.
So what's weird is, I noticed this. So I never cared. I always liked Luigi.
Mm.
I never could pick over the two.
Mm-hmm.
I was equal. So So here's the thing with me and Mario. We go way back.
Right.
Mario. I grew up with Mario Kart on the Wii. I grew up with Mario Galaxy. I didn't really care for how Galaxy played.
I like Galaxy.
It's a good game.
It's
I
my
can't
favorite
deny
one.
it. My favorite's 3D Land
That's
on
a
the
good
3DS.
That one's a good one.
Because I 100% that game. I'm
That's
pretty
good.
sure.
That's good.
I beat it and then I beat it again as Luigi.
Wow.
Because when
Good.
you unlock Luigi,
Yeah.
and I went, yeah.
You do that in Galaxy.
Is Luigi in Galaxy?
Yeah.
Did not know that. For a while.
At
I
least in
found that
2.
out.
I think he's in one. Yeah, he's.
I don't think he's in one.
I think he is.
Huh. He might
Oh.
be. Regardless. No, so when I grew up with Mario, I never really could pick over the two. I was just always like, yeah, Mario's like the straight man of the two
Mm-hmm.
who goes without a second thought. He just seems kind of like an airhead, like the wahoo!
Yeah.
And then there's Luigi, who's kind of scared of everything.
Right.
He's kind of the one who's like, yeah, dude, we're fighting Godzilla. And Mario's
Yeah.
like, wahoo! And
Yeah.
Luigi's like, wah!
I think childhood me could tell that Mario had an ego, and I didn't want to relate to that.
I never thought of it as an ego. I just
Yeah.
thought he wasn't thinking.
No, I think
The whole point is like, yeah, he'd jump and he'd do.
I think all the popularity being on him and him being practically Mickey Mouse really warranted him.
He is the Mickey Mouse of video games.
I don't know, he's super personality traits that I don't have, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big one, is like, I never saw myself, I could never picture myself as Mario, because Mario was like,
Fat.
I don't partially, but I don't want to
Plump.
say like confident, because I am confident.
No.
Maybe not necessarily as a little kid.
There's a difference between confidence and overly confident and way
Exactly.
in over your head.
And that's what the character of Mario felt like.
Yeah, he's a little plumber dude from New York fighting, again, Gamera.
Yeah.
It is Gamera.
I don't know.
Imagine Godzilla with a shell instead of just spikes.
Cool. That's cool.
That's just it's just Bowser, but with like a smaller head.
But yeah, I think another one, and this is a more obscure one, is I relate a lot to Abed Nadir in Community.
Yes.
Danny Pudi's character.
I know exactly. I watched most of the first episode.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
And I watched some episodes with you.
Whenever I watched that show, that character was always my favorite. I related most to him. I think
fun.
He's a fun character, but he's never like truly antagonistic. He's just like weird.
And he's all yeah. And then I think the main character, I want to say he's the white guy.
Joel McHale, yeah.
Yeah, he's the main character, right?
Yeah.
So
it's an ensemble cast, but yes.
Yes, but so in the first episode, at least from what I've seen of the first episode, it feels like the main character him, and he kind of just like bullies. What's his name? Abed.
Yeah.
Right?
He's throughout the series. His name's Jeff Winger, and he's very to put it into D&D terms, he's very bardish.
Yeah,
but he's very
a charmer.
full of himself, and he doesn't think he belongs in the community college.
Yes.
Because he
thinks he's better than everybody.
In the first episode, it explains that he was a lawyer who lied about getting his lawyer's
yep, I remember.
Whatever license or whatever.
Yeah, he got his lawyer's license in a different country or some shit.
Yeah. And so he had to get it, but he's like, I already does this really matter? I'm better than everyone. I could pass all these classes easily just by like lying to them,
Yep.
That's like his whole thing.
Yeah, and his whole thing is he doesn't have morals.
Exactly.
Why have morals when you can lie?
Mm-hmm.
It was basically his character.
Yeah. But, anyways, Abed is one of mine. How about you?
So, we all know what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Link.
Right.
And I'm gonna get to that one later because that one.
Okay.
It's very special. Is it because the 2 Link amiibos?
No.
Is it the stack of Link amiibos?
I had something in my throat.
Oh, okay. Is it the Nintendo Switch that I bought because it had the Zelda logos on it?
You can keep going. Like, you could talk about your socks or your shirt.
My shirt? Okay. I am wearing a full Zelda fit because we played Tears of the Kingdom today.
Yeah.
No, so the like biggest comfort character of my childhood, other than Link, was Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So, my parents were working a lot, and I'm not gonna say I didn't see my parents because I did.
Right.
But I specifically remember when my parents would go to work, I would be home, and I would watch Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Peter Parker, and I loved Spider-Man.
Right.
And it took, I didn't care for Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I cared for Spider-Man. Like I would watch Godzilla, and I would skip to the parts with Godzilla.
Right.
So with Spider-Man, I loved the freedom he had.
Right.
And I can do this, and I will, because it's right.
Right.
And then it took me a while when I matured, or as I matured, understanding Peter Parker and the character of Peter Parker and his whole thing being, I have so much pent up anger and aggression and frustration. And he lets it out by doing the good things.
Right.
And doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's constantly getting screwed over.
Right.
And it's so unfair to him. Like, he's like, oh, I have this perfect date with me and Mary Jane. And then he hears police sirens, and he's like, I could make the girl of my dreams really happy, or I could go save a life.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Right.
Because you're thinking, okay, well, what do I need?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to be able to live with yourself if you don't go do the right thing, the morally right thing.
Right.
And I think because of Spider-Man and Peter Parker and all that, I have the morals I have today.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to do the things I want to do today.
Right.
I wanted to be this huge helper. Hell, I thought about going into med school because of this.
Right.
Because I grew up with this character. Because I've always wanted to help, and I've always wanted to do something good for people, but I've never wanted to be violent.
Right. I think one of the things about Spider-Man, kind of that you mentioned, is like, you can look at all these villains, and even sympathetic villains, and you'd be like, I can see where they're coming from. But every single the fault of every single one of those villains
is they succumb to corruption.
Not even succumbing to corruption. They make the conscious decision to do the wrong thing.
Right.
And Peter Parker had the perfect villain
Origin story.
and he decided to do the right thing as opposed to the wrong, and like that's really cool. That's a really cool character.
Think of it like this: he has a very similar origin to the Punisher.
I don't know the Punisher.
So the Punisher's origin story, spoiler for a character from the 40s. No, he came in like the 70s. I have his first appearance. His origin story is he goes around. So the character of the Punisher goes around killing criminals. Mm-hmm. Every single criminal there is. Doesn't matter what the crime is. I mean, usually they're violent or like drug. And he goes killing these criminals because his family was murdered by criminals. Spider-Man lost a loved one, similar to Punisher. Mm-hmm. But instead of going around killing criminals, he goes around and stops them so the cops can take care of them, as opposed to taking them off the streets for good. Mm-hmm. Like Batman. Batman and Punisher have like the same origin.
Right, yeah.
Except it's not his... Batman doesn't have kids. He was a kid.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Which... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Spider-Man. Very good comfort character for me. I remember, like, he was such a comfort character for me. When I was 4, this is funny, went, I wonder what light bulbs feel like while it was on, and I grabbed the light bulb on the lamp, and it burned my fingers. And I remember laying in my Nana's bed with my fingers on ice, watching Spider-Man 3. For like the 5th time. Because I had it on DVD.
Nice.
Yeah, and Spider-Man 3, for the longest time, was my favorite Spider-Man movie. I think it still is. Mm-hmm. But as I grew older, I understood why people love Spider-Man 2, and it's because Peter Parker, he makes that movie.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But other than Spider-Man, who's another?
It's a difficult question.
It is, because I'm trying not to think of Link, because that's the one I dude, look at me.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the audience can't look at you, but trust me, I'm looking at him enough.
They can see my Instagram.
I think something that's been.
I know the next one.
What do you have?
No, go ahead, real quick.
No. I could go on a long tangent with this.
Okay, so pinning that.
Yeah.
Cool. Goku.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I have a couple friends who call me Goku or Gokes, because at one point I dyed my hair pink and I did a whole outfit that was inspired by Goku Black. I had the white high tops, I had black sweatpants, I had a black sweater, and I had a gray vest. And I look like Goku Black. And Goku Black, when he goes Super Saiyan, his hair's pink. Mm-hmm.
I was there during the pink era.
It looked good.
It did look good.
Thank you.
We weren't necessarily friends at that point, but I rocked with the pink.
I miss it. I wish I could do it.
I liked when my hair was red. That was fun.
That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
I prefer it the way it is, personally.
I think I agree. I just like the spicing it up, you know?
Yeah, changing it's nice.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do green.
I wanted to do green, too, just because it's my favorite color. Which is why...
It was never my favorite color.
Really? Okay.
Until recent.
Yeah.
And I'll get there. My favorite colors when growing up were red and blue. Red and blue. All the way. Blue just because they were the secondary color of Spider-Man. So, anyways, Goku, because Goku is this character he's a... what do you call it? What's the character that doesn't change? Flat character?
Yeah, like static.
Static character. He's a static character, and he changes those around him. And I think that's great. In a similar sense to Spider-Man, except Goku didn't really understand the loss he experienced.
Right.
So with Goku, like, he loses his grandpa, and he's like 10. Mm-hmm. And he becomes this super strong martial artist, but he's just there to help people. Like, I remember there's an arc where he's in this town, and I want to say this happened. I can't remember because I don't remember watching a lot of Dragon Ball, like the original. But Goku and Bulma are in this town, and Bulma's like, "Hey, let's get out of here." And Goku's like, "But shouldn't we help these people?" And he's just some innocent kid, and he wants to do the right thing.
Right.
He sends some rabbits to the moon because they're bullying people.
Real.
Yeah. And they have to make chocolate for this town because they ran it like a mafia. Yeah, Goku at Dragon Ball's hilarious, like the original. But Goku's such an inspiring person because he's always there to back up his friends, and I think that is the thing I like most about Goku is he's there for his friends.
Right.
Like, you can mess with him all you want, don't mess with his friends because that's when he pops off the
Yeah.
most. And I love that, and
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like, I back up my friends all the way. I back up people I don't even know. I hit a kid with my guitar once.
Oh yeah, you did. I remember that.
Yeah, that's the story. High school's crazy.
Oh yeah. What I was saying, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say earlier, is it's less of a comfort character and more of like a comfort thing.
Right.
And it's an obvious one. Once I say it, and it's the Muppets. I
Right.
love the Muppets. And it wasn't until like
Oh, I also am with you with the Muppets.
no, yeah, it wasn't until like the past 2 years that I really delved into puppetry and Muppetry and all that really deeply.
Because of you, me too. Well, actually, I started in middle school. I made a Kermit puppet because I started to do the voice.
Mm-hmm.
So in middle school, we were dissecting frogs, and I like grabbed my like throat and I put a lot of pressure on. I went, "It isn't easy being green," and everyone looked at me and they're like, "Oh!" And I went, "That's hilarious. I'm gonna keep that up." And then I worked on it. So now I can just do it like this on cue, and it's
Yeah,
not.
better than the guy who's doing it now.
I know, because the guy who does it now, he's like, he's all the way down here.
Actually, he's more like, "Hello,
I'm Kermit the Frog.
I am Kermit the Frog."
I
Like
feel
I'm not
I-
even doing
it's,
a voice.
it's
Like
not,
I'm
it's
doing
not, yeah,
I'm purposely not doing a voice. I'm not even trying.
yeah. I mean,
Like the guy who's doing it now.
it's weird.
But no, the Muppets. It wasn't until recently that I really delved into it and researched it. But sorry.
No, you're good. I'm putting a pin in a thought that can go off of yours.
Okay.
The Muppet thing.
But I loved. I remember back in sixth grade. No, sixth grade when I was 2011.
Okay.
When the 2011 Muppet movie released.
That one was good.
That one's so good. 1 second. Fill the air. Fill the air. Fill
Ah,
the air.
I'm filling the air.
Filling the air. Filling the air.
The air.
Sorry. The air is filled. I remember I was 6 in 2011, and that's when the Muppet movie came out, and I didn't know who the Muppets were. Obviously, that movie is kind of like a satire of the old stuff. Like it's a fan thing. Like it's for the fans.
Right.
Fan service. That's the word.
That's the word. Yeah.
But even then, it
Pause. Do you want to peek it real quick? Love you.
My mom said goodnight.
Is that getting cut out of the
No.
No, that's staying in.
No.
Great.
Sorry about that, guys.
Muppets.
The Muppets.
Fan service.
It's a big fan service, but even as someone who didn't know anything about the Muppets, it was a great introduction to the Muppets.
Was that your introduction to Muppets
That
too?
was my introduction to Muppets.
So I want to say I had something right before that. Oh, Muppets Treasure Island.
Oh,
That was my
I
introduction.
haven't seen that one, but I hear it's a good one.
It is one of the best.
That's what I hear. Yeah, it's like a Christmas Carol kind of.
I didn't really care for the Christmas Carol one. I didn't finish it.
I watched it for the first time 2 years ago.
Is it okay?
It's pretty good. I
Okay.
like it. Like I enjoy it.
Real quick, Muppet Treasure Island. I had that on. I think I still have it on VHS.
Oh man, I want to watch it. It's on Disney Plus. So
It is, but
I'm excited for I can't wait to watch the Electric Mayhem series. I want to watch it with my girlfriend, so I haven't gotten the chance to
Right.
yet. But oh man, I'm excited. It looks really good.
it does.
Um,
Anyways, back to comfort. The
the
Muppets.
2011 Muppet movie. I remember watching. So I lived in Mexico at that point. And the thing about Mexico, who would have guessed, is that not many movie theaters have English showings of movies.
Go figure.
Who would have thought? So I think my dad and I went to a mall really far away in order to watch it in English. And we went to go see it. And it was an incredible time. Like, I loved it as a kid. I specifically remember the part where, like, Animal comes out of the stage. He's like, drum! 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 And he drums or whatever. And then we walk out and we're like, that was a good movie. And then...
I like that.
Yeah. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find videos of me at 6 years old. But the biggest part of that story is that we walked out, we could not find our car.
That's funny.
We couldn't find our car anywhere. And we searched for hours.
Hours?
Hours.
Dude, I understand like 20 minutes and like, up there it is.
Nope.
Big mall?
hours. It was a big mall, and it had
Packed?
multiple parking garages.
That's why. Parking garages are crazy.
But we still could not find it. So we went to like a
Jeez.
security officer, and we were like, "Hey, we can't find our car." And they're like, "Huh? Do you remember where it's parked?" So we thought for a little bit, and we're like, "I think it was parked here." And they were like, "Oh, see, that level is only accessible by an escalator. You couldn't access it from an elevator like all of the other parking garages. Just that one is accessible from an escalator. So you have to take a very
That's
specific route to get there,
Crazy.
which is super stupid. But, anyways, the Muppets. I still love that 2011 Muppet movie.
I like it too. I
I-
have like that movie for some reason sits weird in my mind because the case for the disc is white,
Yeah.
so it stands out like a sore thumb.
hmm
Feels like a Wii game.
But I watch it sometimes. Like, I'll just put it on sometimes. Like, that's one of the few movies that I turn on and I'll watch the entire thing just because I turned it on. Like, I'll consciously turn it on and go, I love this movie, and sit down and watch it. And I don't do that for a lot of movies whenever it comes to, like, rewatching them. But
Right.
everything about that movie makes me very, very happy. And I love it. And I used to listen to the soundtrack all the time with, like, my dad. So I know, like, every lyric to every song. It was the best. It's the best. And I love the Muppets. They're just such a... I could go... We've talked about puppets endlessly on here, but I
It's
could
true.
talk even more endlessly about puppets. But did you have a thought earlier that
I
you...
did. I put a pin in it.
Yeah.
It was something that brought me comfort from the Muppets
hmm
was doing Kermit's voice.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And I know whenever I get like sometimes I get anxious
hmm
and I'll start singing "Moving Right Along in Search
such a
of
good
Good
one.
Times and Good News," and it just puts you in a good mood.
Sometimes I'll sing, like...
Or I'll whistle it.
Sometimes I'll sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, or whatever it's called, Rainbow Connection.
Yeah.
Or I'll sing Rainbow Connection. Like, I'll be at work and I'll be doing something and I'll be like, someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. You know, and,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I'm pumped. I love that.
So when I started learning Kermit's voice, it was a couple months before I started learning guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those songs that I played the most when learning guitar was it was in my songbook and it was Rainbow Connection.
Oh, it's so good.
And so I used to play guitar for the people in my band class.
Mm-hmm.
In my middle school, the band kids were the fun kids. They were the cool kids. They weren't like they are in the movies or like they are in every high school. In middle school, we bullied the football team. We didn't bully the football team. Everyone just made fun of the football team because they sucked and they were super short. But the band kids, everyone liked us. They had no problems with us. They didn't think we were nerds. And I think that's still crazy.
I think you lived in an alternate dimension, man, because that doesn't sound right.
If you ask Assad.
Okay.
Ask Assad.
Okay.
Not kidding you. And then I have another person you can ask later. But I used to play guitar, and people would ask me to play certain songs, specifically the Campfire song, which I never liked playing
I don't blame you. It's not that
because
good.
everyone wants me to go faster. I can't. I'm sorry. And then
Yeah.
people would want me to play Rainbow Connection in Kermit's voice,
Mhm.
and people loved it because people love Kermit.
Yeah, Kermit's my favorite, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
I'm not either. Like
Because,
Kermit.
like, he's just awesome. Well, Kermit's up there in my favorites.
So they keep deteriorating his character.
It's true.
He started out as just this humble little guy.
I love him in the 2011 Muppet movie.
He's just some nice dude. He's
Yeah.
just like, I want to get the guys back together.
Like the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's
What's the song? Is there more I could have said?
yeah.
Now there are only pictures in my head. It's such a good song.
That is a good song. I remember that one.
Um,
Oops, that's gonna peak. No, but one of the things that brought me comfort was analyzing the
mhm,
different Kermit's voices.
mhm.
So there's like like the one that you'll hear on YouTube from like people making fun of Kermit. They'll go like, "Hi, I'm Kermit the Frog."
Yeah.
And then there's the one from the movies, which is so that one's like up here and it's like really hyper sounding, And then if you bring it down and add just a little bit of your normal voice, hello, Kermit the Frog here.
Mhm.
I want to get the guys back together. It sounds more like the one from the Muppet movie.
Well, so I mean, what? There's Jim Henson, Was it Steve Whitmire that picked it up after him?
I think so.
And then I don't know the modern guy. Even though the modern guy, the problem with the modern guy is that I'm pretty sure he even puppeteered with Jim Henson.
He probably did.
I mean, he's an original Muppeteer.
So the voice he did was it's what the hell is his name? The evil Kermit. I want to say Alcatraz, but I don't remember his name.
I don't remember that movie too well or at all.
But if you watch that movie, the fake Muppets Most Wanted, the fake voice he does.
Mm.
He's down here doing one of these because he's a Russian making Kermit's voice the best he can.
And that's the voice he uses for Kermit, actually, because that's the best he has.
Theory. Fan theory.
Oh, is it that?
It's the Muppet. The Muppet.
He is just Alcatraz.
The Muppet doppelganger.
What
ended up
is
taking
his
over
name?
Kermit's role.
I keep saying Alcatraz,
and
we're gonna keep calling him Alcatraz,
which is
it's
why he's
so
become
bad.
more of a jerk. That's his character trait now. Right?
Yeah, his character trait is that he's a dick boss.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I actually really enjoyed about Fox. No, ABC's The Muppets, not Fox. ABC's The Muppets. We're going on a Muppets tangent.
Sorry.
I'm gonna finish up the ABC's The Muppets thought.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a bit of that.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It's really funny.
It was really
Say
funny.
what you will. I'm sad that it got canceled.
So, they tried redoing the Muppet Show at one point, and I don't think, is that still going? No, it's not, because they had to fire the last guy.
Was it the online one?
No, it was on.
Because ABC's The Muppets was the last time I think Steve Whitmire played Kermit.
No, they did a Muppet Show. It might have been online.
I think it was that one. It was like Muppets Now, I think is what it was
No,
called.
they genuinely. So instead of ABC's The Muppets, they brought back the Muppet Show, like the original. They brought it back, or they just had it live on TV. I don't remember. I remember seeing ads for it. I might have a Mandela effect going on. That's scary. But ABC's The Muppets is great if you're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great if you're more mature. I don't think it's meant for kids.
No, it's definitely not.
Because
meant for
it's
kids.
like trying to watch The Office. Like,
yeah.
I watched The Office in high school, loved it.
Yeah.
And then I also watched The Muppets after high school with you while working on a puppet.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
And that was a great night because and then we had a couple other friends who couldn't give two fucks about The Muppets.
Uh-huh.
They were also loving that show.
Yeah, they were like...
They were thoroughly
they were
enjoying that
it.
other pig.
Yes, they were.
And it was
They
really
were having
funny.
a good time.
But
maybe not the good time we were having, but they were having a good time.
that show is so funny.
It's really funny.
And it explains why Kermit's a jealous jerk, because he's working for his ex.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he becomes a good person towards the end.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
I mean, I don't even think throughout the show he's like a bad person. Like throughout that
No, he's
series.
just bitter.
Yeah. He's like,
Oh, I wish you know.
I'm working for you know.
Talk about working for your ex. This is where I work.
And then it shows like Miss Piggy's giant sign and
Yeah,
golden lights. I forget what he says, but that scene, that was hilarious.
So funny.
At first, I was really, it's just The Office with Muppets. And then I was like, oh my god, it's just The Office with Muppets.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great concept that is not capitalized on.
Scooter is a 12-year-old canonically, and yet he drives a car.
And gets in a car accident,
He
like
does.
twice in the show.
Yeah. Anyways, did you have anything more to say?
On the Muppet topic?
Just in general?
Yeah, I didn't get to Link.
Oh, get to Link then.
I will talk about Link, and I think that's what we're wrapping it up on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Link is my comfort character.
Mm-hmm.
Link has been my comfort character because the first game I ever played was The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas 2006.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad got it for my Nana because she, fun fact, actually had injured her thumb playing the original Legend of Zelda on the original Nintendo. And my Nana moved in with us, and he got us a Wii,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got her The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
My older brother would help her with the boss fights because it's motion controls, and she couldn't really do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just she didn't, it's not like she's like crazy old. She's
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
She just struggled with motion controls.
Yeah. My mom would struggle with motion controls. So
Anybody would if you didn't grow up with it, but
Yeah.
we did. So motion controls are
Yeah.
great.
They're cool.
So, I specifically remember, couldn't care about Wolf Link
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
The intro to the game was cool, but then he got the green tunic, and that struck a chord with me. I was like, oh my god, that's what he's wearing on the cover. We had the game manual for the GameCube one,
Mm-hmm.
which that screwed me over later in life, and I'll talk about that for like a brief second. Let me put it this way: the Wii versus the GameCube game, the entire game's mirrored.
Right.
Because they were like, Link's right-handed now, so everyone else is gonna be left-handed. Rights are now lefts.
Mm-hmm.
Hyrule feels totally different. So when I played the Wii U version for the first time, I was like, whoa, I have to play in hero mode because I can't do that.
Right.
Genuine, true story. I was like, I would rather not have heart drops. I would rather know the layout of the game. Because I got right to the Temple of Time. And I stopped. Yeah, like that's how much I knew that game.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was playing it on the Wii again, in preparation for the one on the Wii U, I was looking at the game manual because I didn't know where to go, and it was like, go to the right, and I was like, there's no door there, and I looked to my left, I'm like, oh, that's right. And I see Link has the sword on his left side, and I went, oh, that's right. So I had to mirror the entire game in my head. Yeah. But Link is my comfort character because he's this character who willingly puts himself in harm's way for the greater of the world.
Yeah.
And he's got courage, and courage is something that I struggle with half the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't anymore, but I used to really hate being on stage. I used to get really jittery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined theater, and I just was like, I own this.
Yeah.
This is my time.
Yeah, that's the best thing about theater.
And if you can get in that mindset of, this is what's going on, this character isn't nervous, I'm not nervous,
Mm-hmm.
you're set. And
Yeah,
that's something you have to. It helped me through life now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helped me through life so far.
Mm-hmm.
But Link, I look just like the guy.
Right. That helps.
It helps a lot. Since 5th grade, I've been dressing up as the character.
Yeah.
There are pictures of me in 5th grade.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I had bought the same costume I bought in 5th grade, but in my size.
Mm-hmm.
Not very recently, but in like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
The latter in a middle school, high school. There, yeah. And I've always been told I look like Link, and I've always tried to be a hero.
Right.
I've always wanted to be a hero. Not a stupid hero who's like, oh, I can take 5 guys on at once and fight them on the playground. But like the guy who sticks up for the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's always there to help.
Right.
When, like, in Twilight Princess, his whole thing is he helps out around the village.
Mm-hmm.
This random character you don't know, supposedly Link does, goes, hey, I just made this baby carriage, or this baby cradle, and I can't find it. And you go track it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to.
Right.
And you feel bad because you can tell she's got a baby on the way. And
Yeah.
she has, she wants, And it's sweet, just how Link is just such a helpful, he's a farmhand.
Yeah.
And you don't know his origin, but you just know he's nice. He's around these kids all the time, helping them out, and they're like, hey, Link, do this. And he's like, all right, why not?
Yeah. I mean, he's your cookie cutter hero.
He's your cookie cutter silent protagonist.
And I think you can even say the same about like Spider-Man. You know.
You can.
I think a lot of your
a lot of my comfort characters.
Psychoanalyzing you.
Here we go. I'll cross my legs. Is what I would do if I had room.
I think a lot of your comfort characters, and there's nothing wrong with this, is that a lot of them are the hero, and it's okay to want to be the hero. You know, I think that's awesome. I think it's better to want to be a hero than to be a villain.
It's true.
So if you want to be the purest and goodest of hero, that's awesome.
Luke Skywalker's another one of my comfort characters.
Exactly.
I used to. This is a fun story. I used to put on black. I had black jeans. I had a black sweater. I had one black leather glove, and I want to say I had black boots, and they were like mud boots that I would wear when I went hunting as a kid. And I had Yoda's lightsaber because I was little.
Right.
I was like really short, and I had nice blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad would have a big red lightsaber. He had Darth Vader's, and my brother had Anakin's. Because I grew up with Episode 3 in that. That was my Star Wars.
Right.
And we would go outside at night, and they would light up. We'd go, and they'd come out, and then we'd go, psh. And I remember the coolest thing ever as a kid. And if you've never lightsaber fought with your brother against your dad, you're missing out.
It's true.
Have you done it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's childhood peak right there.
Oh yeah.
I remember I got backed up against the wall of my house, and my dad was like General Grievous in front of me, spinning the lightsaber over and over, hitting my lightsaber, and I just kept my arms up because I was like, this is life or death. Luke would never back down against Darth Vader. Such a cool moment for me.
That's good. But I mean, yeah, a lot of your characters are very heroic, and that's awesome.
Doing the morally right thing no matter what the cost.
I think
Luke almost let his friends die to save his father and therefore the galaxy.
I think
And that's very selfless.
oh, absolutely. I think a lot of like the
That's why I hate episode 8.
It's not that I dislike those characters. I really love like all of those characters.
Right.
But I never like. I personally don't see the appeal in them, and that's not
No, I know what
diss
you
at
mean.
all.
Well, it's hard to find appeal in a silent protagonist sometimes.
Yeah, but for me, it's harder to like really analyze myself internally. But I think a lot of my characters are a lot more.
This might be an extra long video.
We can stand it.
What do we
We've had
got?
worse. 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. We're fine. We can keep going.
I think my characters are a lot like, they're always the weird ones. I think the weird.
Oh, I gotcha.
Or different, but still like persevere through that. You know?
Right.
Like I played Kevin G in Mean Girls.
Right.
And his whole thing is like being himself and being himself loud, but still being like a good person.
Right.
And I think I really relate to that. That's why I played the character so well, in my opinion.
Oh, you killed it.
Yeah,
I went and saw the show. It wasn't opening night, sadly. It was the night before.
Mhm.
And that's the only show I could make because
Right.
NASA needed me. But I work at NASA.
I know.
Oh, you just looked at me confused. I was like,
No,
we went
no,
over
I know,
this
I know.
multiple times.
No, I know.
Yeah, space is crazy.
But I mean, like, I think like creatives and
yeah.
and like all of my characters obviously have the best of heart. I think.
Right.
Or are lovable. You know.
Yeah, like Luigi's lovable.
Exactly.
Wally, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, 100%.
The most lovable Disney character.
I always
Pixar character.
strive to be lovable. You know. And maybe you have more thoughts on my end of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I know one of the things I just thought about this is any character I can impersonate in a certain way. So like
Yeah.
I look like Link. I dress up as Link.
Mhm.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's one of the issues is when it comes to making D&D characters.
Right.
We've had this talk many a times.
Mm-hmm.
I like making characters I'm comfortable and familiar with
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have to think of a new backstory. I can take that backstory and take it like a what do you call it? What do you call those things? Oh, what are they called?
Describe it a bit more.
Something that is red, and then like you go down the list, and it's like something that is red. All right. Something you wear.
Oh,
What are those called? You know what I'm talking about.
my first thought is intuition, but
No, but it's like a. I want to say it's like
relation.
no, they're like fucking. Oh, it's like a Frankenstein of adverbs that makes a story that's really funny in the end because you put all these different things together. Mad Lib. I can. Is it ad lib or Mad Lib?
Mad Lib.
I can like basically Mad Lib, his story. From whatever.
Like an
and
ad
tweak
lib
it.
is like an addition to a script that an actor makes, like well on stage. Well, a Mad Lib is those written pieces of papers.
Okay, so I can take character's backstory and I can just change out certain things to flavor with the world. Like I took Link's backstory from Twilight Princess's manga, and applied it to Dark Sun. For D&D. For those who don't know Dark Sun, it's a post-apocalyptic world where magic is hated on because it caused this post-apocalyptic world. My character pulled a sword out of the ground and it caused a nuke.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
wiped my hometown, off the plane, and I ran away.
That's fun.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I had no idea we were playing Dark Sun, by the way. I just went, hey, this is the background I want. He went, perfect. And I went, okay.
Perfect.
And I made Link, but I played him as this quiet, kept to himself, nervous character because he was a ranger and he had magic and he was like, I'll use my magic if I have to and for good.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm healing someone, I will use magic. If it's to protect my friends, I'll use magic.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not use magic in public if I don't need to.
Right.
So I thought that was fun because he was like, I'm good with a sword. I don't need to use magic, but I can if I have to.
Right.
And that stuff's fun. And I love taking Link like that. Like I love the Fierce Deity transformation from Majora's Mask. You're not too familiar with.
Yeah.
It's the one, yeah. For those who don't know what Fierce Deity is, it's the mask you get at the end of Majora's Mask.
Spoiler alert.
The game came out in 2000.
I know when it came out.
Anyways, It's the mask you get if you get all the other masks in the game and you give them to all the kids. You get this mask and it's like a 3-hit boss kill weapon. And it makes you 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
White hair, whited out eyes, blonde eyebrows still. It looks like Adult Link, but he's got armor and it's all white with a big great sword that makes a figure 8 called the Double Helix Sword. Super badass.
Right.
Super badass.
Mm-hmm.
I play a version of Link that I took the abilities from D&D and made it so it functions like a Super Saiyan transformation. When he gets super angry, he basically blanks out and he gets these facial markings and his outfit morphs and he becomes super tanky and does a lot of damage. And he becomes this other character.
Mm-hmm.
And I love doing that stuff for D&D because it's like, oh, I can take this idea and make it work this way. Right. And I think that stuff's really fun. Like, I name my characters Link and everything, just because I like the name, it's familiar to me. If I had grown up with a different character, other than Link, like, if I grew up with Luke and never cared about Zelda, I probably would name most of my characters Luke.
Right. Yeah.
Guarantee you.
No, yeah, that sounds about right.
But, like, one time I tried to make Master Chief in D&D, and a lot of people would probably go, oh, well, you're going to go like the gunslinger, or, oh, you're going to go with crossbows because it's fantasy and he uses guns from Master Chief from Halo. And I went, no, I want to make him a Spartan who fights with Norse and ancient Greek weapons.
Right.
And I thought it looked really cool. I gave him like a Spartan helmet, but it had a visor.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave him like a Norse mythology long sword, and then I gave him like a hoplite shield.
Right.
And it looked really cool. Like,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that miniature didn't look cool. And then I gave him flames, and I made them blue, like the energy sword.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. I love seeing how I can take things that I love and I'm familiar with and apply them to D&D.
Right.
That's one of my comfort things, is taking the characters I'm familiar and comfortable with. Like, hell, I would never touch Sonic for D&D. Sonic is one of my comfort characters. Grew up with Sonic X. Grew up with, I went to, I want to say Busch Gardens,
Mm-hmm.
and I won one of the bottle ring toss games, and I got a Sonic plush. I still have. And then that Christmas, I got Sonic Unleashed on the Wii.
Yeah.
I mean, not the Wii, on the Xbox 360. I was like, oh, the hell is Sonic? Oh, it's that guy that I have in my
Right.
room that I won't let go.
That's good.
And I didn't know his name
Uh-huh.
until I got that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how
That's
and
the
Son-
situation.
yeah, and then I fell in love with Sonic. And I was like, God, I love this. Newgrounds, they had a Sonic Flash. It was called Sonic Flash. I think it was just called Sonic Flash game or whatever. And it was basically Sonic Advance
Yeah.
with physics.
Fair enough.
It was cool.
I imagine so.
I loved that. That was a great thing in kindergarten. I remember that.
Oh, fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Sonic's a comfort character. He's cocky, he's smarmy, but he's a good guy who does the right
Mhm.
thing. Recently Leon's become not really a comfort character, but he's a cool character I like.
Right.
Because I look like him.
Mm-hmm.
If they're blonde and they have a face, I look like them. that's
Yeah.
the moral here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, comfort characters are comfort characters, and
yeah.
I imagine we all have different like comfort characters, and there's some deep reason why we do, and then sometimes it's Wally and he's cute. But I think we'll end it there.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, Relaciously Productions, if you aren't listening to this.
Is this going on YouTube?
I think we're going to try to make a new YouTube channel soon, solely for our podcast.
So, if this does go on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and there is comments,
Mm-hmm.
comment your favorite comfort character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
do
a
that.
list.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed listening.
Yeah.
I hope you're comfortable and cozy.
Yeah. We should have said, like, cozy up under a blanket. and get
Yeah.
some hot cocoa. But no. You're probably driving to work. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Have a good day. This has been Stuff
Things.
and Stuff, where we talk about stuff. I was going to give it to you.
Yeah, I thought about it.
And stuff.
Have a good night.
Have a very good night, day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Have a good one. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.